Hello. Hallo, ich versuche gerade das Brummen noch ein bisschen wegzumachen, and then I will switch to English and we can start here. Hello and welcome to my playthrough through Journey. Journey is 10 years now. It's its anniversary, and it is a game by that game company. Hello and welcome to the 10th anniversary of Journey. This is a game very close to my heart. It started my console gaming career, and my interest for console games and games in the video game space. And today marks the 10th anniversary. The game was published by Sony and developed by that game company in 2012, and in March 2012 I was able to lay my hands on it, and today I will make a complete playthrough and talk about the game design challenges and the game design of this game. And look how beautiful it still is 10 years later. It has a very minimalistic art style, but that holds up very, very well. And Journey is more or less a perfect game because it does what it does very, very good. The tutorial is just one example. Here you have this little creature, and you are told nothing. You can explore straight from the beginning, and you see these cloth things in the distance, and the sun is burning, and you know that you have to go there. But if you don't, you can explore everywhere you want to. And I can go to the back of the scene and let's see what happens, because this game tells you things by showing you things. Show, don't tell. This is a paradigm very well known in the movie space, and they appreciate it here too. So if I want to wander off too fast, I get the very harsh wind that is blowing me back into the scene, and the camera is rotating a little bit too, so you still see in the distance the marker where I have to go. And look at the scene. You have reduction to the max here. here is nothing of interest except these two pillars or three pillars with the cloth. And yeah, well, it's very natural for me to go there because that is the point of interest. And let's do that. I'm playing the PlayStation 4 version. There's no dedicated PlayStation 5 version by now, but this should hold up very well. And then the game is transitioning into the cutscene, into the title screen. And this is another thing. The transitions are very, very smooth in this game. And there is our goal where we have to go, the big mountain, and the music kicks in. And this is very important because the music tells me this is my goal. And yeah, journey speaks for itself too. And I have this slight transition and a new angle from the camera with a blinking light, a shimmering light in the distance, and that tells me where to go next. And if I look back, here's really nothing. So let's do that. And now I'm sliding down my first dune, and this is a warm and welcome and good feeling. Here you have a scene with all this loneliness, but this little guy is holding up fine. And I have to admit, on my first playthrough, I did not recognize that these things are meant to be graves. Oh, that's interesting. When I am approaching one of these, I get a little kick in my controller, a little rumble. That is a nice touch. I don't know if this has been ported from the original version or if it is something that they introduced in the PlayStation 4 version. And so here, this means civilization. I have approached and I've reached civilization, but it is crumbled and gone and deprecated and obsolete. And I feel that. And now I'm going to the only point of interest. Here on the right you see something in the far distance, and that tells me that's my intermediate point of interest, and later the mountain. So here is something lively, and as the pillars in the first scene, this is very important because I'm feeling really lonely here in the dunes and the sand, and it's nice to have something that is lively. It grabs my attention and it's also interesting. And here I have a button prompt, hold, and wow, I can fly now. And this is the great feeling because it's quite hard to traverse these dunes on my own. This game is very, very physical in its approach. It's very important where you are moving, how you are moving. It's all about movement, and it's a movement simulator, maybe, if you want to call it like that. So let's see what we have here too. Here in the far distance, it's a bigger structure, and here on the right is a smaller structure. But if we take the most cluttered way, I think that is the standard path that we should take here. And here are the cloth creatures, and the first thing I understand is they are friendly because they are giving me power. When we are, that got near very, very fast, and another light, but I saw this distraction on the right. The fog seems to be very heavy here because I only moved some inches, some meters in the direction of these structures. What I want to point out is composition. Journey is very keen to have interesting image compositions here. You have the mountain and then the structures here, and they are using detail to guide you. Most games use light to guide you, and Journey is no exception, but it also uses detail. The path with the most detail is the path where you want to go or have to go. But even here, it is completely optional. You may go wherever you want. You may go left here to the main structure, or you may go right to the smaller structure, and I will do that. And it is a game that is fantastic in giving you objective without saying anything. The placement of these little structures with the cloth creatures is exactly measured so you can have a nice hop here, a nice hop, but you do not quite reach the next structure. But you think maybe you could reach it. So you're hopping towards it because of that. So let's see. This is a ruin, and we are looking into it because there's just a hole, but it's the most interesting thing here in the whole area, so I'm going into the hole. That's mastery of signposting. And so here we get another button prompt, hold, and I'm singing, and that does not sound good. This is some form of communication, a mural where I see dead creatures and the tombstones. And now it is clear that these are tombstones. And quite naturally, I'm heading left, and I'm seeing these small tombstones here right in front of me, and they tell me here are many tombstones on the right and only 2 on the left, and they tell me go straight up here. And this structure, it looks like an Egyptian dog or an Egyptian cat. It's very interesting for me. And the whole scene reveals itself. We have the light on the right and the interesting structure in the middle where you have the most detail, and that is why we go there, because we should. Here on the left, another cloth creature. Help me, cloth creatures, please. And our next objective, very natural, this shiny object. And I want to know what it is, and I want to go there, and maybe I can try this little hop, and it works. And the game communicates that this was the right decision. My scarf got a little bit longer, and it's not important that I recognize that immediately, that my scarf got longer. I will in the course of the game. And here we have something like a door that I would like to open, but it's closed at the moment. And here the bright beam going into the sky, my target. So what am I doing now? I'm still feeling the loneliness, and that is an important thing in the first chapter of the game, that you evoke this feeling because we need it for the next reveal in the game. And I'm just poking around because I want to see where I can get. Here is another shiny thing, and I'm tempted to go there. But I remember it is not the wrong thing to explore here, because I want to take my time here, because in the later game it can be quite rude to look at every nook and cranny. You have to go with the flow, and I will do that. So I am using my time here in this, my me time, my alone time here in this Death Valley, to look at everything very carefully. So I can go up here. You may or may not learn that you don't have to jump to go up these steps, and you learn what this mechanic means here with the cloth, that I can bring back to life just by touching it. That is very important for the game. The touch is something very positive in the game, and the singing too. And these are my buttons, what you would call buttons, but these are not buttons. This is something much more organic, much more living. And you see these cutscenes, and not in all, but in most cutscenes, these are seamless, and in most cutscenes I still can move around. So now I'm learning calling the fish, the cloth fish, and that they can give me a boost. So until now, everything that I encountered was positive. The world is barren, and I wanted to get this. The world is barren and empty and lonely, but the tiny things in the world are friendly. And that is quite different to other games. Back then in 2012, I did not know this little fact, that most video game worlds are adversive, are unfriendly, are packed with enemies, not journey. This world is packed with creatures that want to help you. And it is quite important to tell the player this lesson in the first playthrough. I want to show you another thing, just because I think it is brilliant to hide it here in plain sight. This one is my achievement display. I got 3 of these little shiny things, and so they are lighting up. And later, if I've played through once or twice and have got all the achievements, I can get a white robe here. And this thing is right in front of the entry of this area, but you don't see it because it doesn't glow when you go down there for the first time. Naturally, because you could not get one of these. But in the other playthroughs, you might see it. And I really like this type of design where everything comes so natural. So hello, little fish creatures. I have to reload my scarf. So Journey is a metaphor about life, and if you've seen what we have done until now, we were born in the desert and we could do nothing. So we learned to fly. I think that is like learning to walk for a human. We learned to speak here. And now the adolescence starts with the next level. And let's see what that means for our game. So I just go here, and by my proximity these things light up, and because I'm curious and because the game wants me to be curious, I'm walking to the others. It is very important for games to set the tone, what you want from the player, and Journey does this really, really well. And I have this little circle that tells me, go here and sit here. And now we have our first cutscene that tries to explain what is this world about. And for the first time we see another creature that tells us, go to the mountaintop. And another mural where everything, all the light, comes from the top of the mountain. And all life and the people too, who live from the crops and the cloth. And we fade back, and this is the transition. The door opens with majestic sound, and we see this pathway, want to go into the light. And if you look closely at the end of this path, there seems to be another little figure, and this is not a real player, this is an NPC, if you like. They put it in very deliberately to show you, oh, there can be another player. And if you've seen it, you might want to chase it. And this is very nice because it's a very filmic, cinematic introduction into the next scene. And you got another goal. You have this destroyed bridge and the next light, and quite sure you see, there's my goal. And again, in the far distance, you have the mountain, and in the proximity, you have your immediate goal. And something that really wasn't very common in 2012 is the distance, the viewing distance. Look here, straight, you see one bridge, two bridges, three bridges, and then in the far, far distance, the fog is turning everything yellow, but you have the feeling that this canyon is endless, and you feel small. And since after you are going down here looking for this shiny white thing, you will feel much smaller again, because you're now down here and the bridge rises high up here. So here's some wind, and it's not very sure what I have to do here to go up. Maybe I have to pimp my scarf. So I'm looking around, and here are these cloths. This dead cloth, and I'm going near, and just by going near I'm activating it. And what does it do? It does release these cloth creatures. And late in the game you will understand why these things are parts of cloth-eating creatures. And I think down there I saw another player, and that is where the magic, the real magic of Journey kicks in. where you see the first other player and you're not sure, is this an NPC? Or is it not an NPC? And he is reacting. But he stands there, or she, it. I want to remember the symbol. That is an important part too. These are two triangles. My symbol is very simple. Bridge and an L. So now, I will do what I always do in this situation. I will be a good companion and try to do things the other player wants. It wants to. They want to stand there. Oh no, the player is sitting down, and I could not. I didn't understand what that meant, but what it really means is the player pressed pause, and it's a harsh feeling when a player leaves you, but not in this area. This is a very playful area where I can do anything and everything. So let's bring back life into this world. And I have to say, if you have played Flower is one of these games where you turn the barren destroyed landscape into bloom again, into a green, nice and friendly environment. And that's okay, and that's satisfying, but I prefer the way Journey does it, because it's not that, okay, you have all this barren sand and then there are flowers everywhere. No, in Journey, it is much more toned down by releasing these little creatures. And most of art is doing contrast. And you have to still have the contrast of flying high here. That is what I meant with the cutscenes. They are starting a cutscene, but I still can move. Look at this. By keeping the contrast of the dusty sand, and only sprinkling in some of these little creatures, you keep the feeling. If you lose the contrast, the things might still work, but not to the same extent. Oh, this is a nice spot here. I've seen 1 and 2 white symbols. And yeah, I will chase them because they mean a bigger scarf, and a bigger scarf is a really good thing to have. This game teaches you, without telling you, that helping each other, mutually helping each other, is a win-win situation. Because I am releasing these cloth because they are trapped in here, but they give me warmth and strength back. So let's see, we have, every time you have a waterfall, you have to put some secret back there. That's the golden rule of game design. I was a little bit disappointed because Horizon Forbidden West has many waterfalls, but not very much. They don't have secrets behind them. So I start to to enjoy movement, and this area is important to teach that movement can be fun. I'm exploring the world. I wanted to talk about the metaphor, the life metaphor, and you see it in every level. This is the coming of age phase where I first meet other people. I don't know what they will do, how they will react. And for the first time in my life, I have opportunities. Everything seems so interesting. Going there. I love doing that. And if you look into the horizon, you see there's so much to do. There's so much opportunity. But it's still very safe here, like in your childhood. And you are building bridges into your future. So I'm building the bridges here. So I started to improve the bridge, and I started to understand the world. And now I can finish this phase. I have to admit, I hope to see another companion here, because companions are very important for the game. But it's like life, you never know what cards are dealt to you. So let's see, here the second bridge is expanding. And the somber music and the majestic lighting up of this path. So let's leave home. I've not seen other people here, so I have to walk this path on my own. But now I listen to the music, how they are transitioning into something more lively, more like an achievement, and I can swim along these bridges. And now on the second end of a level, you have these pillars again, but they are separated. That is meant because it's much nicer if you are two people. One person starts with the left pillars and one person does the right pillars at the same time. Then you can sit here. And now we are transitioning into, young adulthood, maybe still coming of age phase, and we come face to face to the white creatures. So they were worshipping the cloth, building a civilization, building bridges. aiming high. And when I first played the game, I thought, oh, there's a train. Well, that is not a train. They are powering all their cities with a cloth. And another big door. Hey, JT. Yeah, thank you. I'm still enthusiastic about the game, and I think it really holds up well after 10 years. So the next transition, and I think it is quite important to use these funnels and tunnels through to a new transition, and I'm doing it actively. Here we have another introduction to the pink desert, and each level has a theme movement-wise. The last level was very vertical, and here we have this endless sea of pink, and not an immediately goal here. We just want to conquer this nice pink desert, and we are introduced to surfing for the first time, but you can't surf here for long because the dunes are not high enough. We will keep that for later. And still the signposting is strong. You see these machines. Look at them. You will see them very much later, and why they contain cloth. And even if you are alone, like I am at the moment, you are now meeting these little creatures that help me fly around, and I really love to take them as a companion because they are giving me strength and direction. It's very playful here. Don't go away, little... Yeah, help me. That's good. Nice. They are leading me to another section of the desert, up the hill, and here's another creature, and what I will do is help more little fish come out and help me here. So we have a swarm that is guiding us. If you want to know what is joy in a video game, that is joy. And look at this desert. That is very important to my heart because there are so many games that try to be like Journey, but none of these has the guts to put you into a barren desert with only one structure. And look at that. We have acquired another companion. The white light shows me where the companion is. And he has a braided dress. That means they play the game. They already have played the game. Look at their scarves. It is very small. So now we can interact, and we can give us health or stamina. And together with these little creatures, we can walk around the desert. And in the Dark Souls series, you have a lot of these gestures in multiplayer. Here we have short press and this long chime, and that's all. And this is a very simple structure here, but you need simple things around you so the interaction with the other people is front and center. Help me. Oh, that didn't work. And I want to take this. Where's my companion? I don't want to lose my companion. That is very important for me. And this is the emotional part, because Journey is always different each time you play it, because people are different. Hi, Rato Mortimer. Yeah, it still looks beautiful. Oh my goodness, I've lost my companion. Here they are. There. That was a shock. Very small shock, but nonetheless. Losing the companion is always traumatic. And I suppose they want to show me the flower. There's a hidden flower in the desert, and I believe that's the direction. Look at that. How gorgeous can a pink desert be? Very much. Oh, look. Here's another picture. And these are the creatures that fell down and they were riding them. These are these creatures that eat the cloth. So my player has started to act as a guide, and I will follow them. You can sing in the air and stay in the air if you are timing it right. So everybody says that Journey doesn't have game mechanics, but that's not true. The interaction mechanics are quite elaborate. And you need some skill to do that. Where does they want to go? I have to remember the name. It's J.T. Stairs. Okay. Okay, we are talking where we are going now. We are arguing where to go now. That's a nice part of the game too. So look at that. Where do you want to go? Yeah, that's the way of the hidden flower, isn't it? and I give energy back. I can understand that they want to stay in the pink desert, but because it's maybe the point in your life where you have the most freedom. Maybe your student years, for most people. You can go everywhere, there's nothing that can harm you here. You can slide down the dunes and that... What is here? I don't think I have been here. Oh, I have been here, but what happened here? Ah, okay. Here we are. There was a shooting star that I did not see. A shooting star is coming from the top of the mountain down here to this ruin, but I did not see it. I lost direction a little bit. I was thinking that we were heading back, but we did not. Hey, little small scarf. Oh no, I will call you Little Scarf. And now look at this transition. You're seeing this tower, okay, that's interesting. We are going there. And then there is a big shadow and the game transitions into a whole other mood. And that is brilliant. Look at that. And everything's gone, the joyful atmosphere is completely gone. And I'm shouting out to my companion, is everything all right? Looks like they want to show me something. I'm not quite sure. Where are they going? This is rather intimidating. After all these years, the mood swings still work. But I'm not sure where they want to go. Ah, okay. Maybe they want to show me Glitchland. There are some famous glitches in Journey that were not patched because the developer said it's nice to have these in there. If you can't stumble there onto them accidentally, we will keep them in. Ah, this shortcut. I forgot. But with this scarf, it will be very hard to take it. Yeah. They did it. And you still use these little creatures. That is heartbreaking. The stuck fish. So, and here, if you want to know where the snakes, the flying dragon snakes are made, you can see it here. And I feel they want to appreciate the game because stopping there is just for soaking in the mood. Look at this. Look at how small we are. Look at how small we are. The camera is fantastic in this game because it's it's always in the right spot. It's always looking for a great framing, but it just works. There are very famous games, and there are many games I really like that have very bad camera work. I'm looking at you, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian. And this is the point where I sometimes lose my companion because I want to get this little trophy scarf thing. And then some of the companions get lost. And here for the first time we can see, look how tiny we are. Here for the first time we can see what happens if we are starting the end of the level together. And it's such a heartwarming feeling to sit down there at the same moment and watch the cutscene together. And the story is... we still have this white creature and something about our past. So we have the civilization, the bright and luminous cities, and everything seems to be fine. But is it? They are building cities where crops used to be. That's the first time that I see that they are exchanging the crops and they want to touch the sky. That is hubris. Be careful. If you know Greek tales or something like that, you always see that can't lead to something good. And now the next part is all about movement surfing. And there's a real challenge here because the challenge is not to lose your companion. And it's one of the most fun parts and copied a lot of time, and it's so beautiful. It's a very beautiful part of the game, the surfing part. So, my objective, getting all these these gates, and don't lose the companion. There's still the white light, and getting this is quite hard sometimes. And I've seen scenes like that in games like Jedi Fallen Order where you get stuck on the walls, and a game that is 10 years old did it perfectly. And now going through this waterfall, and that is fun. And you see this is cutscene, but I can still move. Oh God. So many times I lost that. And now we are sitting here above this area and have to release the big cloth creature. And this is co-op. We are working together like we do in the other adult world. I think this is maybe your first job. Adult times after your education. So yeah, you have to work and surf. Where am I? Here am I. Completely interactive. Just the camera is out of my control here. And we can use these cloth creatures to fly up. Here, and now we have to time the moment very carefully so we don't get lost. I prefer to stay behind my companion to see where they are. And I think here is another scarf part you can acquire, but I always fail. In doing that. It's more important to stick to the companion. And there's an achievement for getting all these goals, but it is not needed. This is affordance. You want to make the slalom, and now we are transitioning, and I will shut up to the most gorgeous scene in the whole game. It's been a long time that I could experience this together with a companion. And it's very strange, but I'm tearing up a little bit. You might not understand it, but I'm very grateful to being able to experience this with another player. Hey, Cooper Stuff. And we have another transition, and it gets a little bit spooky because life in the middle of the life is not always sunshine. It can be spooky too. So we delve into the second half of the game here. And the first part is just somber, but it gets harder. So you see the resources are dwindling, the lights are dwindling too, everything is getting more scarce. Well, they built all the cities over the plants, and now they are fighting with their machines, with their dragons against each other to get the remaining resources. A very simple story. I think the life metaphor is a little bit more interesting in this game, but it's fitting, it's okay. So now we are entering the underground. And by now I have learned how my companion is working, what they like, what they don't like, how they are interacting, and I can rely on that. And I have to tell you, I want to rely on that in this level, because this is maybe the level where the game gets most extreme. So first we start out very somber. They managed to give you an underwater feeling without having an underwater level, and that's brilliant too. It's just the little particles in the air and the somber tones and the bluish color. Okay. Where do we have to go? I lost orientation. Are we going back? I'm not sure. I think we are going back, aren't we? Yeah. I got turned around. And look at how we are communicating. Please try to make sense of it, what we are saying to each other. I think it's quite understandable if you are trying to understand what's said. And these little things are guiding us. I'm not sure if they are just parts of buildings or again parts of machines. And you always have the urge to proceed and the urge to explore too, because this is why these shiny things are part of the game. It's not much, but it's very important for the pacing. Where's my companion? Oh God. It's so hard. I really get nervous when they are leaving just a little bit. I've lost so many companions in this game. And here we have a new kind of mechanic, the seaweed that gives strength. It's not really a new kind of mechanic, but these seaweed things are bigger. So, little scarf, do we want to proceed to there? Look, when you are playing the game for the first time, this may be quite simple and no problem for you, because you have not experienced loss in this game. And this game really, and I'm really serious, is teaching you how loss feels. Because if you have lost companions, oh, I love these jellyfish. If you have lost companions, you know how precious life is and how precious it is to keep them around. And that you have to put effort into it to keep them around. That was quite serene and beautiful. And now look at here the transition. This high note that is fading out, and then nothing, machine parts. And it gets really, really dark here. Look at that. Something changed. And the only thing, and that is very important here, the only thing that I can trust and that I know is normal is my companion. So we stick together. Oh yeah, a jellyfish. No, another fish, a clothfish. That's nice. I like them. And I'll turn my interest there, but oh my god, it is still working. The only thing I knew, the little clothfish was killed by one of these. And my companion is hiding here. But maybe together we can do this. But maybe we will get hurt. So these statues are not only statues, they might hurt us. And we are going down there. I realize how I'm getting nervous and tense. And I want to hide. Yeah, you even have a stealth section in here without any explicit stealth mechanics. The gameplay is very diverse. It's not just running. So the new movement mechanic is stealth in here, and there are cloths, and they are taking the cloth. Not something that I want to experience. But where do we have to go? There's light at the end of this tunnel. The world is dangerous, and it's better to not be alone out here. What is that? A light? Where's my companion? Okay. We are calling out. And the creature didn't see us. That's good. And together we can hide here. What is happening? Still gives me the creeps. No, what is happening? Oh, God. What was that? And the first time I experienced this scene, oh God, I lost half of my scarf. It's a real punishment to get immobilized in this game. The first time I experienced this in the game was that my companion was attacked by the monster, and they lay there, and I thought they were dead. I've lost them. And there could as well have been a punishment where the game could disconnect you from from your companion. But they didn't do that. They punished you by shortening your scarf, and that's punishment enough, as I think. By the way, if you have questions, you may ask in the chat. Look at that. Okay. Where do we have to go? Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no, they saw me. And that is a scripted scene, but it's so effective because you still have everything under control. And now we will hopefully visit a little companion. Back here was a little... No. Let's go with the flow. There was a little creature called Fred. I think it was Fred. So continue. This scene gave me the creeps when I experienced this for the first time, because I did not know what the punishment was in this game, and now I still am anxious when I'm playing through this, but I know I can't die, I just can't lose my scarf. And the scarf is important, especially in the next scene, where you have the golden time of your life. Here the story is told. The civilization lost everything because of the war, and everything got destroyed. But there were some seeds again, and I think now we are here, and now the narration switches to the present. So this might be the time after work here, where you have this brief period in your life where you can enjoy the fruits of the seeds that you have planted, where you can climb a tower for the last time. And this is all about verticality and the joy of movement again. And you have iterated here the theme of life from destruction, because we are reintroducing the energy into this tower. So, another level where you easily can lose your companion. Oh no, 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 don't go, please. No, no, maybe just an internet failure or something like that, but that is very sad. I really like that companion. And you see, it can happen anytime. And you started to think that you can enjoy the rest of your life here. You can enjoy your accomplishments, and now they are gone. The Pathless. I started to play the Pathless on my iPhone and on Mac, but I couldn't really enjoy it. Oh, I have another companion. A new one. There was some light of a new companion. I couldn't really enjoy it because the frame rate on Mac-based hardware is so bad, and the small part that I played did not convince me, because look at the starting area of the Pathless. It's not really fun to explore there. It's just a level where you maybe should rush through, but yeah, I have to admit, there are, out of my head, I can't think about any games that did the same thing for me as Journey did. And I know Abzu is also like the Pathless by some of the people who made Journey, and I barely, how to tell it? I played Abzu, but I did not really enjoy it, because all the important lessons from Journey were not present in there. There were, what I always see is mimicry, that people try to emulate Journey without the aspects that I really appreciate. Even the German game Omno that was published last year, and many people really like it because it's Journey-like. I don't see that, because the world does not capture me. Here in Journey, every building is positioned very carefully. So I wanted to go for the last trophy here. Everything is so deliberate here to evoke a feeling, and most of the other games are more puzzly and more they are not built around the feelings. They are built around something else. And the multiplayer aspect of Journey is very important too, and you don't see that in other games. The game that is maybe very close to that, sometimes it's Dark Souls and the Dark Souls series, where you can have these experiences. Dark Souls and the Souls series and Bloodborne and Elden Ring have so many other mechanics that don't have to do anything with Journey. But regarding multiplayer and talking with other players, sometimes I think that has something to do with it. So look at that. The picture showed me two figures, and I thought that means that there is another player in the level, but I don't see them. That's a pity. This is another serene moment of gameplay in Journey where you have the whale, this big whale, and it's really heartwarming if you can do that together. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what I would take from Journey and put into other games. The exploration aspect is represented in other games very well. There are a lot of games that are exploration heavy. Let's talk about Outer Wilds or Elden Ring maybe. Hob is another game where you can explore a lot, and I appreciate that. The multiplayer aspect is not done extensively in other games, and I think that is something that lets Journey really shine. Hi, Wired Up. There are no plans to pause fanboys or stop fanboys, but I can't tell you when it will or if it will come back. I think it's a Corona thing that we currently are not in the right mood to do it. But yeah, there's no real reason for stopping it at the moment. So look at this. And this is the future. These murals are the future. And they are telling about a future where I'm not alone, but I fear that I have lost my companions for good. It is quite rare to get a new companion in the last. It happens, but it's quite rare that you get a new companion in the last part of the game, and we are approaching the mountain. That's not the future, that's the past. I'm seeing what we did. Together we fought the machine. Sorry, I remembered this. I didn't remember this correctly. And that's what you do if you are in the situations when you're the great golden phase where you are healthy of your life comes to an end. You are looking at the stuff you have done in the past. And look here, at the beginning I was alone and there's only one figure. I really appreciated this detail. And when you are looking at this scene, you see how different it is to a game like Abzu or The Pathless. Because I can contemplate, there is meaning. It's not just a game that gives me another level or wants to tell a story. I'm filling in the blanks here. The good thing of Journey is that you become part of the story. You as a person did this. You communicated with your companion, and your companions become part of the story too. And it really hurts to lose them, especially a very faithful and very good companion like the one I had in the midst of this game. And please hold your thumbs that I will find another companion here in the last level, because it's very sad to end this game alone by yourself. And this is another thing I want to mention here, because I'm always hesitant to leave this level if I'm alone, because that's the last time I can swim around and jump around and have this big scarf. And now we are approaching what people commonly call death. And I said it to you, the cutscene is now switching to our life, our experience, and our future. And we see the journey we took again. What happened? We were alone in the first chapter. We met somebody growing up when we were adults. We saw the great depth together. We fought against enemies together. And now here we are completely alone in the end of this game. And that hurts. It hurts a lot. Because this game is not real, but the feelings you can have with it, they are real. And that's a thing that does not happen often in video gaming. And I would say it happens never so directly and so naturally, because when I played The Last of Us Part 2, I had the feels, but that was a story told. And here we tell the story. We players are telling the story, and I'm still alone here. Sometimes I wait and hope I can sit down here. If I'm doing this, holding the touch button. Sometimes I sit down here and wait and hope that another companion will join me, but most of these hopes are fruitless because it doesn't happen. And I wish you that is not the case for you in your life. So let's tackle the unavoidable. And go into the light for the last part of this game. Do you hear the sound of the snow? And funnily, you may say, okay, here they are only showing the last goal I have, the mountain. Nope. We will cross this bridge. This is our first goal in this game, and that's genius. Sorry. It is. This is our first goal in this level. Still alone, and it gets harder to walk. It gets colder, and you see my... Oh my goodness! Hello? Please say something. Don't stand there. Hello? Oh goodness, please move. I suppose somebody's woken up here and is pouring a coffee or... Life can be harsh. Oh no. Say something. Please. On one of my first playthroughs, I had a companion that walked the whole way with me until this bridge to this point, and then they sat down and they didn't move and they didn't vanish for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. No, that's too much. But maybe 5 minutes. And I was talking to them and trying to reactivate this pure little hull, this little creature, but it didn't work. And I had to make the decision to just walk away or wait. And I really waited for a long time. But they did not move, and in the end, they vanished. And I don't know what this player is doing, maybe just cooking some meal and having the PlayStation on, still on, and doing nothing. Hello, hello. What's up with you? No, please, don't do that. Talk to me. Oh, hello, hello. Oh, you have the symmetry name, like me. I suppose that has something to do with the internet connection with... Yeah. Do you want to come with me? I don't know if you realize that, but I'm overjoyed. What they want to do. Stubborn. They are waiting for a special player. I heard some people try to connect to each other. Yay! Hello! Come on! Why are you standing there? That's pure terror. Because I don't know if I have to wait. Sorry, bye. I'm going. You can come with me if you want, or you can... That's a life decision too. Maybe they want to be alone. Maybe they are waiting for somebody. They are not waiting for me. Hey, Mo Tenzen. Somebody is here but does not want to play with me. Maybe they are gone now, and I can move on. No, they are still standing there. Curse you. I will see your name at the end of the game. So I have to do the last trip on my own because this player doesn't want to play with me. Fine. But they invigorated my senses. I am now more determined than ever to do that on my own, because I think that was the last point where I can connect with another player. And this is so hard to do that last part without another soul helping me. But we can do it. We can do that. So this last part is talking about movement-wise, because I said that the game is doing something movement-wise differently in every level. This is about how it would be if movement is really hard for you. And I'm not talking about games like Quop or games like Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, but it feels a little bit like that. And I have to hide behind these columns if I want to approach the end. And here I stand, still have to cope with the fact that because of this player, because of this other human, because of the decision they made, I have to stand here alone, and the last minutes of this game will be alone. Because there is no one waiting for me. No one waiting for me at the top of the mountain. And yeah, well, I surely can't show you the climax of the game without another player, can I? But I can show you the rest of the game and the meaning of the rest of the game. That was heartbreaking, but I still think of the middle player I had in this game. That was a treasure. And my controller is rumbling, you can't feel that. Here are these creatures again, dead in the snow after the war. And we are finally approaching the end. And I've got lost. I can't see the mountain anymore. I'm still just following these little gravestones. And there's the moon. And I'm longing for another person or some of the warmth of the light, because as you see, I can't jump anymore. They took this from me. But if I get warm, I could again, but I don't see how. And I don't even see where I am. But still, this game never tells me where to go, and I always know where to go, because the structure of the level is so clear. And look at this. This is the bridge. But first, we will make a last little attempt to get warm. And here, this little lamp. And these little creatures and this little mural are the last things, the last signs of civilization. And you only see the war again. And that is what I said about contrast. This would not be very spectacular in a game to have this little light and I can fly in this spot. But because everything around me is so harsh and not friendly, this means a lot. So from up here you can see the entrance where we came from. Down there the other player sat with me. There's the door, and we came up all this mountain up to here. And now I have the chance to jump down and hope another player will join me in this journey. Or I can go up there. And this is a moral decision you don't have in many games. Where I now can decide to do it all on my own or take all the way again, just hoping there will be another person waiting for me. And I'm split, to be honest. I'm split. I don't know what I want to do. And I don't want you to wait all the time. I would need to get another companion. But I'm thinking about the future and what you are missing if I don't do it. That is harsh too. So should I take the jump? Or should I proceed? I'm not sure. Should I stall again and sit down here and wait? I have to make a decision, but I can't. I think this video will be forever and I will do it. And maybe I will fail. Maybe there won't be another player to join me. But maybe not. So I'm sitting here and I think the algorithm doesn't join you with other players if you look in their direction. They have to be close, but not too close. So waiting here may be a good spot. And this is ridiculous that I'm doing that. Hoping for someone to come around. All alone, all by myself, and yeah, I shouldn't do it. And feeling lonely, feeling very lonely down the bridge here, and the thought having to go all the way up again, alone again. That is very hard. Oh, look. Where's the light coming from? No, it's not coming from... They did not match me with a... Is there somebody up that bridge? Oh my goodness. Did they match me with somebody? Yeah. There is somebody up that bridge, but I can't reach them. Please. Oh my God, they are calling. You have to jump. You have to jump, please. Please jump. I'm here, down here. Oh my goodness, I never had this situation and it's heartbreaking. You have to jump. I am down here. Oh God. What have I done? I messed up a lot. Oh God. Will they jump? They won't. Please. Are they gone? They're gone. Okay, so chances are that I can reconnect to another player on top of the bridge, so I will try that. That's my only chance, because I don't want to take the last... I don't want to give in. I don't want to take the last steps alone. So that gave me hope, and I experienced something in Journey that I never experienced before, and that's worth a lot for me. I didn't know that you can connect with somebody standing on this bridge while I am on the floor down below. And I have to confess, I had a game where somebody jumped down the bridge and I jumped with the person down the bridge, because it was important for me not to lose the connection. So let's try this, and maybe this will grant success. And I know that I'm stalling, and if you want to see Journey played faster, I think you've come to the wrong channel. Because fast is easy, but we want to play it emotionally. I can't say pleasing, but deep. So let's try this, and please cross. Oh God, that is the same person. Is it the same person again? Oh, I'm so excited to see someone here. Yeah, you can stand behind those pillars and you can stand in front of them. So how would I, thank you Juan Hernandez, how would I approach prototyping a game for emotions and feelings? Yeah, I think multiplayer is always a good thing to introduce feelings if you do it right. You can reproduce feelings like anger or joy relatively easy, but we are talking about deep feelings like in Journey. And I think you have to touch something of the real reality of the life out there if you want to do it. You can do it with story, but this is, most of the times, that is really passive. So we want to do it actively, like we have it here in Journey. So the most important part is agency for the player. That they do something that they account for, that they do something they have done. That is why many people think Minecraft tells interesting stories or detaches something in you because you are building all this stuff. So give the player opportunity to tell their own story in giving them possibilities to do hilarious stuff. But also, if you want to tell about deep emotional feelings, there are some tropes that work quite well. What always... Oh God, please don't fall down. What always works well is loss in games. And you see that in many games. If you have played Monument Valley, that is a game that you play by your own, it's not multiplayer, you feel lost there because there's a companion that gets ripped away from you again. And I think that is one of the easier things to convey in a game, feeling-wise. Give the player something, take it away, so they miss it, and they really miss it. And they didn't know beforehand to miss it. What accelerates feelings and emotions in games is how you are interacting with the game, control-wise. Use your controller, use the rumble, the heaviness. Like this here, it is really hard to proceed here, and now you have enemies too. It is really hard to walk in this snow, and that conveys emotions too. If you have to fight the game, if you have to fight the controls, variance is very important there. You only can feel loss of control if you had control before. That is why I'm so annoyed how Horizon Forbidden West did the puzzles, because Aloy is always telling you how to solve the puzzles, but if you are on your own, if you can discover things by yourself, you feel much more emotions. That's a quick recap, but I want to do much more about emotions and stuff like that on this channel. It's a very interesting theme. And here it gets tense again. The monsters are following us. And I think the name of the other guys is a tree-like structure. What are you doing here? Why are you standing in plain sight? We have to hide. And look at this mechanic. We are desperate to fill our stamina bars, and we can do it if we stick together. We are glowing, and if we talk together. So this is an incentive to do that. And that makes me feel closer to the other person. So, okay. Damn it. I have, no. Oh God. So here we have this situation. He's feeling something for me because I'm their companion, and look at how they are running to me to help me. And so what do you have to do? You have to hurt the thing. Oh no, not again, not me again. And now I'm fearing that my companion gets annoyed with me because I'm so dumb, and they call out and they are still here. We are telling deeply human stories here. And that is what makes me feel. It's not a cheap trick of the game that makes me feel here. The experience, the real human experience that happens is evoking these emotions. Johnny makes this brilliantly. So I told the other person that I'm now aiming for the next safe spot. Look at the communication that happens between us. And what Journey does is the level design is, and that is different to Abzu and the Pathless and many similar games. The level design is made to incite these situations where emotions can exist and the emotions can be felt. Look at my scarf. I had a proud, big, long scarf back then. And look at that. This channel is made so we can feel ourselves. We have a little moment of relief where we can fly again and we can celebrate together, and that is important, together, this little triumph against a harsh world. And why it is so long? Because we need time to communicate. And here we have another small puzzle. This seems to be a new player, maybe. I don't know. It's very uncommon to go here. I'm struggling with my much too small scarf. Always nervous I could lose my companion again. Even the possibility that I can use them for good is important to convey the emotions in this game. If I could just reconnect, it would not matter in the same quality. It would not matter as much. So this is the last somber part, and now the winds and the... You may think for a while that, hey, together we can do that together. But can we? Yeah, it is helping that that there is another person, but does it really help? And you see, even our communication is not as big as before. Go here. And this is very nice. This is an optional part. You can fall down here and have a little moment of, oh my God, am I separated now? And now we are really, really struggling against the forces of nature. And both our strength is dwindling. So, did the other person fall? I'm not sure. Look at this moment. It's okay that they fell, but I care for them, so I'm looking. are they still there? And it looks like they... Ah, hello. Hello. And now we are entering the last stretch. Here is the mountain. The music gets more dramatic, and it is really, really hard to keep us warm and to move. But together we can make it. And we lost all of the scarf by now. And you have the feeling you can't do it alone. You have to have another companion to do that. To walk this walk. But it seems to lead nowhere. You even can't see the mountain anymore. There is it. And the controller rumbles. And it gets still. Silence. And we are still walking and talking, but our faint voices, you can't hear them anymore, you can see them. And the movement gets slower, and the volume gets lower. And then something happens. And it's important, very important, the order in which it happened. Because now I see that my companion is struggling as I am. And now I see and this is emotion by storytelling more than by... And now I see that my companion collapses and dies. And it's important that they die first. And then I too collapse into the ground. And I don't know if this is the end of the game. Because now you see a white blank screen, and maybe it would have been the end of the game if playtesters wouldn't have said you need something to make a complete game out of this. And here I have the cutscene, and I'm at the end of my life, obviously, and the elders are looking upon me. And look, I'm alone here. The difference in feeling emotions here is that these scenes are scripted. These have to happen. But they are important too, because this is the great arc. And now I am reborn, more or less. But I'm still alone. And have this cutscene where I reiterate all the things I loved about this game. And I think that is a very important lesson about... The last thing we had was the boss fight. The going uphill was the boss fight of the game, and here we have the aftermath. And it's so important that you give, and I'm not alone. it's so important that you have to give the player in the end everything that made the game fun, and have another area where you can just do it. No challenge anymore, just the fun stuff. So, there's one thing that is problematic about Journey. Only one thing, only one gripe. And that is, there is a part of this level, the last level where you feel confident and free and great, where you easily can lose your companion. And that is after this great slide. So please help me not to lose my companion now, because I've lost them over and over and over again. Because you see, the camera here is quite limited, and if you lose track here, it's very easy to lose track forever. Going up, going up, going up. This is the critical point. After going up the waterfall, you should be safe. Maybe I already lost them. Here. Here they are. Because it is important to enjoy this together. We have earned this. And it is a big feat to go into the light together and have a little somber moment here. Don't be so fast. You have nothing to gain if you leave me now. Hello and goodbye. They are so eager to walk into the light that they did not pause to say goodbye, and it's quite nice to see them here. Goodbye. That's ridiculous, but because I'm thinking about the other player that played the middle of the game with me and how they would have done it here, how they would have experienced the end. And in the end, even if you take your time here, you always have to go into the light by yourself. And it's a decision. You can take as long time as you want. Oh, the other person is still there. As long time as you want in this last level. And these last levels always work. Yeah, I also love the last part, Wire Depp. It's give the player this last part in the games, because I think it is really nice if you can say goodbye to the game too, not only in multiplayer games to other players. I think Uncharted 4 did this brilliantly, but Journey does everything brilliantly. So even the end of the game, even this is part of the game and an important part of the game. I'm do speak, and now you see the reincarnation, and the game ties into the beginning here, because the game begins with the spark that is flying to the desert. So even this, this end of the game and even the credits in the end of the game tell something about the game, are part of the game. And you revisit all the journey. That is a very important part, that you see stuff you know again. Loom did this, by the way. That was a nice part of the ending of Loom. And you see there are other people who are playing, and you really can enjoy this. And I think it's a palate cleanser. You need to have this part of the game to cope with all the emotions that you have when you play this for the first time, or maybe the second or the third time. And I still enjoy it. And there's a treat at the very, very end of the game coming now, after the credits, that is worth waiting for, and that are the PlayStation names of the companions you had in the game, the names of the people you played with, and you can connect with them afterwards if you want to. And I always make a screenshot because I don't want to miss them. Today I don't have to make a screenshot because this is the stream and everything is recorded. So, thank you very much for joining me in this experience. It is very close to my heart, and I think, this game is really beautiful, and I don't want to miss them. If I get rid of all the other games, I would keep Journey around. And I'm out of words. Thanks a lot again for joining me in this experience. There are some other things to discover and see in this game. If you have the time, if you play it alone, I would never leave my companions just for exploring everything. You can switch off the internet and play on your own if you want to do that. And there are some really nice, interesting little secrets. Again, the flower in the pink desert, for example. And I won't stop the video because we want to see with whom we have played here. And now here you see the course of the day. The sun is going down and it's going up again in a moment. So the spark needs to travel all the distance again back to the point of beginning, and you see all the scenes in another light. That's on one hand metaphorically is that true, but they do it literally too, and that works for me. And the difference to all that other Journey clones is everything in this game is made to support the emotional message, and yeah, you just want to explore this world. It is a world that has meaning. Thank you, Riorik777. Thank you, Lil Chris. Thank you, Later Moon. Thank you, Brother3. That was the companion I met down in the cold area. And thank you, MLKSZPN. That was the companion that went into the light. Thank you, Thrin47. And I think Lil Chris was the little scarf I spent the most of the game with. Thank you all for joining me in this experience. It was a blast as always, and it's so fitting that the only button prompt you get here after the game is the button prompt to start a new journey, because that's all about, that's how life is. You have to start from new, you have to experience it again. And now that is built in as part of the game. It doesn't work anymore because the game is 10 years old, but back then you start a new journey after your first journey to be a guide for other gamers, for other people in the game. Because you have experienced this world, you know where the secrets are, you know how it works. It's a little bit like the Souls games and Elden Ring, where you enhance your experience when you communicate with other players, when you help other players to understand this world. And that was part of the game, that you play another round, and now you are the wise old person who knows the game and who knows the pitfalls and who knows where to go and can tell them to other players in the game. And I think that is beautiful, and that is a beautiful idea, that the experience that you make in life, that you use them to help others to live a better life and a more fulfilled life. And in these times, you know what's happening in the world. This is a message that I only can appreciate. So, again, thanks a lot. I will end the stream here. It was a pleasure. Maybe in 10 years we will see us again with another game of Journey. I hope this one will stick around forever. Thanks a lot, and see you on the main channel. If you want to support this channel, you have many possibilities to do so. You can have a subscription on Steady, but you can also buy my games. Head over to the Coding Monkeys. You can do it there, or go to itch.io and search for Coding Monkeys. The here is available on iOS, but now it is available on Android and PC and Mac too. I want to strive and make games that just a fraction as good as Journey is, and that is my goal in my life. And when you buy the games, you are helping in that too. Thanks a lot, and bye.